Good afternoon. It is July 22nd, 2025. It is now 5:30 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask that you please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance from the Honorable Mr. Mayor Pro Tem Brad Childs.
Dear Lord, I humbly pray for our staff and this council as we plan for generations to come. Let us aspire to lead with integrity and purpose for the betterment of Orange. Please remind us time and again that our actions should be based on our children. They will remain our living messengers to a time that we may not see. Father, please guide us on this path so that we may look back and see that we simply followed you. Their future should be our priority as long as it honors your will. I pray that we may all be leaders that believe in you, and as you direct our steps, we thank you for this guidance with this journey. Finally, dear Lord, I seek your blessing not only for today's meeting, but also for the lives we will impact afterwards. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Brad Childs. We will now move to item 3, motion. Finding that the advanced posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all pending ordinances, and reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinances and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter? Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Mr. Chandler? Mr. Mortimer?
Aye.
Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. On to item 4, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker, and your comments are appreciated. As the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda, your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the city council's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. At this time, the first name that I have is Mr. Bob Manning. Please come forward, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Only 3 minutes. Good evening, everyone. My
Good
name is
evening.
Bob Manning, 802 West Cypress Avenue here in Orange. I'm here representing HPC, the Historic Preservation Commission. And as the chair, I'm carrying the message from the entire commission. There was a discussion that came up at our last meeting, and it was kind of a reminder to many of us that years ago, there was a discussion here at the council regarding the health and well-being and upkeep of the Brown House or the old City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
There was some discussion about when you moved the City Hall to its current location, there was some commitment of at some level to ensure that property was preserved in some way. So the commission was asking me to come here and speak on behalf of us for historical preservation purposes. There's got to be some way in which the city can figure out how to restore that, whether that be through sale and private venture or a joint venture, or some way in which that building and that property can be preserved, as it does have a pretty significant historical significance to the community. And as a project, when we were discussing our historical projects, that came up as one. But obviously we can't do much about the project until we have some commitment from the city on what that is going to look like. So more of a inquiry and a request that property be looked at in some way, shape, or form for preservation. Okay.
Thank you.
And I did it in under 2 minutes.
Look at you.
Look at that.
I was gonna give you longer than 3 because but I mean,
Because of my Piggy Wiggy.
that's it. I like that hat. All right, next we have, I'm sorry, I can't really see his last name, Noah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't see the first name. Is it David?
Tony.
Tony, okay.
Yeah, my handwriting's not too good.
It's okay, sir. Sorry about that.
So, what I'm gonna talk about tonight is, I sent an email on July the 8th to 3 of the city council members and to the, city manager and to his secretary. And by talking to several of them tonight, I realized that none of them, for some reason, got the email, even though it wasn't kicked back to me as undeliverable. And the emails were correct, they didn't get to the people, which answers the question that I had is, why haven't I heard anything? Why haven't I seen any action? And so what I'm trying to do tonight is I'm trying to spur to action. I'm not trying to demean or put anybody down or anything like that, but the way I talk is kind of demeaning to some people, and I just want you to realize that's not my purpose. It has come to my attention that the City of Orange is not enforcing city ordinances, specifically the following. And what I did was I took a bunch of city ordinances that I was able to pull off your website, and I broke it down into this is what is expected and this is what is happening. And so what I said is, addressing grass and weeds, it says that they've got to be 12 inches or less. And then I made the point, it's reached a point where in some neighborhoods, Roselawn comes to mind, it is more the norm than the exception for people to allow their grass to grow in excess of 12 inches. In one instance, and I gave an address, and I don't know if you want me to do that or not, but this address on Bowling Lane has high grass and 4 unmounted tires laying at the front of the property, visible from the street. Practically every house on the street is a code violation of some sort. And I'm not just talking about Bowling Lane, but that's all I had to do was go down Bowling Lane and I could find every violation of the code that I could possibly find. The second one was junk vehicles. It says if it's not operable, it's a junk vehicle. Please do not keep junk vehicles on your property. And I notified you both by text, and I gave the name of the code enforcement officer, and I gave the date and the time that I sent the text. And then the next day by phone call, because I didn't receive any response from that person, that such an infraction had been going on for several years at a specific address. And like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to give addresses or nothing, but I gave addresses, and then this email is available, y'all. It's probably in your spam folder, where there is not one but 2 broken down vehicles sitting in the front yard. This is getting to be a common eyesore in the Roselawn area as well. And then another code enforcement, home occupations. And then I gave another address. And then I gave the breakdown of what's considered a home occupation and what we're not supposed to do. And as I said, one needs to go no farther than Bowling Lane to see all of the above, but be aware that this is rampant in bold letters throughout the entire Roselawn area. I know that we have to give everyone equal opportunity housing, but we do not need to allow an entire neighborhood to decay into oblivion because we are too afraid or too lazy to address these legitimate issues. I personally own several houses in this neighborhood, and I am having a lot of trouble renting or selling those houses because of the condition the neighborhood's in. Not only the condition of the neighborhood, but the crime that goes on in it. And I don't need to mention that because I'm sure as small as Orange is, everybody knows what's been going on in Roselawn lately. But what I'm trying to point out to you is I'm sure that if you just took a little drive through Roselawn, you'd get a pretty good picture of what that area is like. All you got to do is go down 1 or 2 roads and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Please go down Bowling Lane and make it your first one. But I just don't feel like the code enforcement department is doing the job they're being paid to do. And I ask that you help me with this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, next we have,
Can you resend that email?
mhm.
Can you resend that email?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, next we have Olive Elkins.
Olive Elkins, 604 Balsa Wood Lane. Today I want to express some concerns about the Texas Bill SB 8, which was signed into law last Sunday. What SB 8 will do when it goes into effect is it will force counties across Texas to sign up with the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Program 287G. And what that does in a broad nutshell is it allows ICE to provide manpower to local law enforcement to help them with their operations in that jurisdiction. Now, I know there's not a lot that the City of Orange can do about this directly, since it targets counties specifically. And Orange County had already signed up for 287G. But I want to talk more about the precedent that it sets. Essentially, state lawmakers are giving the signal that they are so gung-ho with the federal government's project of mass deportation that they will force local jurisdictions to cooperate with ICE. Not only does that undermine local authority, but it will embolden ICE to ramp up their operations in Texas. We will see more raids, they will be more visible about it, and they will be sloppy. They will catch many innocent people in the crossfire, as they have already done thousands of times over. I see it, America is becoming a very unsafe place for immigrants, and Texas in particular is about to take a nosedive on that front. And I see it as our responsibility as members of the community who are not being targeted in these raids to do whatever we can to protect the people in our communities who are most vulnerable. And we are running out of time to do that. If we are serious about protecting people who live in our community and who are very vulnerable to persecution like this, we need to do something about it as quickly as possible, such as with the Hays County resolution that I mentioned at the last meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is the last name that I have on the list at this time. Is there anyone else who would like to come before the council? Yes, sir, please come down.
Steve Maddox, 1002 West Cypress here in Orange, and I'm also a lifelong member. I've lived in Orange my whole life, and I got pretty pumped up talking about the orange fire hydrants a while ago, and there were some other people that came in that didn't hear that story. But I want to say that I attended Cove Elementary School in the 1900s, and it was a great place to grow. And when I was in the third grade, our teacher had an activity for us, and it was, how could Orange, Texas be a better Orange, Texas? And the fire hydrant thing, when I was in the third grade, that fire hydrant story was told to that teacher then. We also discussed Orange having orange fire trucks. Orange city utility vehicles. I don't remember the colors of the fire trucks in the 60s, but I know in the 1970s, Orange had pear green fire trucks. It's a true story. Our fire trucks were pear green in Orange, Texas in the 1970s. And we have red ones now, but I'd like for the council to consider and I'd like to have it in the record about the fire hydrants, and that's the second reason that I wanted to stand up this time, so that we could have it on the record that it would be really cool to have orange fire hydrants, and to consider the next time we buy a new fire truck that we get it orange. And I would like to see that idea take off and grow. And I know this is the council, this is the mayor, to do these type of things. And I've been in this town whenever we didn't have a council and a mayor that we could do these things. And so I'm really excited about these ideas, and there's others that we can do to make the city really shine and grow. So thank you for having me. I have another meeting I have to go to at 6, or I would stay for the entire meeting. So please excuse me for that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, is there anyone else who'd like to address the council? Okay, if not, we will close citizen comments, move to city announcements, item 5A, city staff announcements and city events. None, but I will say, July the 4th was absolutely amazing. For those that volunteered, all of the fellow team members and the volunteers that were out there at the chamber, the music was awesome, the food, the fireworks show, people were excited that we have a 17-minute show. And I just thank y'all for putting it together because it was awesome. The security, the police, fire, everybody keeping us safe, and it was awesome. So thank you for the July the 4th. I guess, what are we, like 71 days away from Orangetober or something, or 73? Yep. Something like that. All right, thank y'all. And looking forward to that too. And making sure that all the little kids get a pumpkin so we don't get in trouble. Okay. All right, we'll move to item 6, consent agenda, July 8th, 2025, regular city council meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Salter? Mr. Chandler? Mr. Birch? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Childs? Ms. McKenna? Okay, motion passes. Item 7A, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an interlocal agreement with the Southeast Texas Regional Planning Commission 911 Emergency Communications relating to the planning, development, operation, and provision of 911 service and the use of 911 funds. Mr. Zito.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. This is the renewal that we do every 2 years with the Regional Planning Commission, the 911. So it's just a little form of housekeeping to renew it, which starts again in September.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments from Mr. Zito? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. McKenna? Mr. Childs? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Birch? Mr. Chandler? Ms. Salter? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Zito.
Thank you.
Item 8A, consider a motion accepting the fiscal year 2026 street rehabilitation priorities. Ms. Floyd.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Wait for our presentation to come up. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about the fiscal year 2026 street rehabilitation priorities. We brought this similar presentation to you about a year ago, and so we just want to run through what we've done, what we're looking to do. I guess you can't really tell on the screen, but we did cross those first two out. We got 27th and Tulane done over the past 2 fiscal years. And the following 6 are what we plan to do in the next 5 years. As you can see at the bottom, that is the total for what we're needing done. And I will go ahead and show you guys a breakdown of each street and their condition. Keep in mind that 1 is the worst road condition and 10 being the best. So first we've got White Oak Road. As you can see on the picture on the right, it is rated a 1 out of 10. Project limits would be from West Alley Payne to 0.9 miles south of West Alley Payne.
Just, excuse me, ma'am. Just be clear, if we go back just to
Sure.
show that it is just the north of the south portion. There is a private drive that's at the very south that runs off to the east. That is not in this project.
You did say 1 being the worst, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's really a 0.5.
We've got West Alley Payne Road East, which is considered a 2 out of 10, as you can see in the picture to the right. We also have those project locations from White Oak Road to Fox Run Apartments. And then we have the west side of West Alley Payne Road, which is also a 2 out of 10 condition. And those project locations are from MLK to White Oak, so it's just the west side of the other project. We've got Bear Path Drive East, which is at a 3 out of 10. You can tell there's a lot of wheel and alligator cracking. And those project limits are from Cub Trail to State Highway 87. We've also got the west side of Bear Path Drive, which is a 5 out of 10. It's not quite as bad as the east side. Those limits are from FM 1130 to Cub Trail. And then we have Clark Lane, which is a rated of 4 out of 10. And those project limits are from Meeks Drive to 27th Street. So this is kind of the prioritization list that we recommend over the next 5 years. I did want to point out that the available budget for fiscal year 25, you can see at the bottom, was almost $720,000. That also includes the materials and what we need for pouring concrete, for patching potholes and things of that sort. So not all of it goes to street rehabilitation. We have to use some of that budget for other things as well. We do, at this point, we're trying to prioritize or allot about $400,000 per fiscal year to street rehabilitation to get everything back to where it needs to be. And I just thank you for your time, and I hope you accept our prioritization list, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Floyd?
What would you consider starting?
So I think in order to put a bid package together and to have the budget approval, we would need at least a couple months. But to get boots on the ground, I think 2 months is a pretty decent time frame to start. Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy to see White Oak being priority, and I know they're happy
Yeah, they will.
as well.
I think so.
They'll see it. So.
Till through fiscal year 30, so over 5 years. Yeah.
And just to be clear, as y'all recall, we've been talking about this for several months, but again, as we had that unbudgeted funds from Invista, and we did allocate a sizable portion to fiscal year 2025. And so we're kind of finally there, and that's where Public Works, again, wanted to recap the street prioritization, and just want to make sure y'all are still on board with the prioritization. So yes, we could get to White Oak this fiscal year.
Mhm.
I say fiscal year, 2 more months. So
Mm-hmm.
2 months.
if not by the end of this fiscal year, but while it's still hot. How about
Okay,
that?
there we go. So if you don't, so first off, thank you to your team members and everybody that's done all this to get it going. I know when they did come, and the other day they were here and they wanted to see where we were. So thank you for coming back and sharing us this information. What I would like to do is get a copy of it, because I know everything's public information, but I'd like to get a copy of the presentation, and I might go set up a projector on the street and then let them see it, that we're not lying. But no, I will share it with them so they can see that you guys do a survey, that you have done the groundwork. Because I think that there was questions like, do we just pull streets out of our hat? And it's like, no, you guys do a great job. So yeah, I'll get the presentation and I'm gonna forward it to all the people, or I'll let Matt forward it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great,
We have a
thank you.
motion?
Real quick,
Yep,
if you
go
don't
ahead.
mind.
Sure.
The 717 that you have for 2025, that does include the money from Investa, that number?
It does,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. That's all.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. McKenna, Mr. Childs, Mr. Mortimer,
Aye.
Mr. Birch,
Aye.
Mr. Chandler, Ms. Salter. Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to item 8B. Consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange Economic Development Corporation in the form of a motion of intent approving an EDC incentive with Project Capstone, located at IH-10 west of MLK Drive, Orange, Texas, 77632, for eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $2 million for the purpose of economic development. Mr. Trahan.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, this is a follow-up to a very detailed, involved EDC public hearing earlier this evening at 4:30, but now it comes to you as a council to formally approve action taken by the EDC, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have and cover any additional information. I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, can we put the picture up real quick? Do y'all have that one or no?
Okay.
No, man, we're proud of this picture. Put that picture up there.
Okay, so just to clarify, what you're seeing is a preliminary site plan
that is moving forward at this time that captures basically the area between Tejas Parkway to the east and MLK Drive to the west. It's a land assembly of roughly 40 to 43 acres that makes up the project site, with basically access not only from MLK and potentially from Tejas Parkway, but from curb cuts along the frontage road at some level. And so it's a work in progress at this point in terms of the development team working to move it forward. But we're processing what the city EDC can do in the form of reimbursements at this point in time as part of their financial portfolio. And that's the purpose of this agenda item.
Okay, all right, thank you. Any questions or comments? Just very excited and very thankful to staff and team members and everybody involved in making this happen. So, yep, can't wait to see it started. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Can we have a motion in a second? Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Chandler?
Aye.
Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Mr. Mortimer?
Aye.
Mr. Childs? Ms. McKenna? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Trahan. Item 8C, consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange Economic Development Corporation in the form of a motion of intent, approving an EDC incentive with Project Capstone located at IH-10 West at MLK Drive, 77632, for a sales tax rebate equal to 33% of sales tax generated at the site over a 10-year period for the purpose of economic development. Mr. Trahan.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, the three standards that we look at from an EDC standpoint in terms of meeting state of Texas requirements is, number one, does it enhance the property tax base? We can check that box, yes, because it's unimproved property at this time. Secondly, is there a job creation or job retention component? We can check that box as well. And considering this is designated as a retail power center of which users and tenants will be shared at the appropriate time, there will also be the sales tax component, thus resulting in what would potentially be a sales tax rebate at the project site. So that's what we're discussing at this point. That's a follow-up to EDC action earlier.
Okay.
I'll turn it back over to you.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay, if not, do we have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Salter? Mr. Chandler? Mr. Birch? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Childs? Ms. McKenna? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. On to item 8D, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation financial report for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025. Ms. Zito.
Yes, good afternoon. So earlier at the EDC board meeting, I presented the financial summary report, just the big highlight. We have about, at June 30th, 1.4 with about 500,000 more in our reserves, savings. So 2 million easily could cover that, although this project's gonna be a while. We'll continue to get more sales tax and build up our reserves even further, so we'll have plenty. I checked today and we have about 2.7 million, so
Okay.
we're in good shape there.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate, because I think at first somebody would have ran and said, are they giving out what they don't have? But no, we do.
We have,
Thank you, Ms. Zito. All right, any questions or comments? All right, have a motion?
Motion.
Can we have a motion and a second? Ms. Salter? Mr. Chandler? Mr. Birch? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Childs? Ms. McKenna? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. Item 8E, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation investment report for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025. Ms. Zito.
so at the earlier EDC board meeting, I presented the investment report, and it basically shows we have $6.2 million, about 5.6 in the sweet money market account, and about 350 in the regular checking, and our CD at First Financial for 250.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments from Ms. Zito? Any motion?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. McKenna? Mr. Childs? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Birch? Mr. Chandler? Ms. Salter? Okay, motion passes. Item 8F, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the city's quarterly investment report for the period ending June 30th, 2025. Ms. Zito.
So this is the investment report for the city. At June 30th, we had a little over 42 million in the bank. Our average rate of return is 3.94. Most of that is in our Wells Fargo money market sweep account, because that's our best investment at the moment. We compare that to our benchmark, the U.S. Treasury 6-month rate. The benchmark is 4.1. We're earning 3.94. That's pretty good. We're pretty happy with that, and we're going to continue to watch the interest rates and see if this investment is still the best way to go. We monitor that daily, monthly. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, if not, do we have a motion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. McKenna? Mr. Childs? Mr. Mortimer? Mr. Birch? Mr. Chandler? Ms. Salter? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. On to item 9, City Manager Report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to let everybody know, the City Hall will be closed Thursday, July 24th. That's this coming Thursday from 11 a.m. till noon, 11 a.m. till noon for staff development.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, City Council Report, starting at my right, Ms. Salter.
Okay, well, I just want to thank everybody for coming and thank all the staff for all their hard work and the things they do. I just want to remind people about the Back to School Orange County that will be taking place August the 2nd here at Lamar State College, Orange. I think it starts at 9 o'clock to noon. I think they had a pre-registration, but pretty much I think the lady said that they've had a lot of kids registered. But it's free school supplies, free haircuts, and immunization and things of that nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chandler.
The report just ready for the growth we have and the improvements that we're making on city streets. It's great to see moving in the right direction.
All right, Mr. Birch.
I'm just excited to see that White Oak is top of the list.
Yeah.
I think we all
It's been a long time coming.
Yes.
So, other than that, no report.
Okay, Mr. Mortimer.
Just excited about what's going on in Orange, and I also want to just remind everybody as the summer programs start to wrap up over at the library, I think through the 16th they have the escape room, so if you find 2 twin boys in there about 11, they're mine, they can't figure out how to get out of a shoebox, so anyway, I appreciate that, so take a look, it's really a good time for the kids. Good.
Okay, Mr. Childs.
Yes, I wanna, give a sincere thanks to Mr. Jay Trahan and Hillary Gravitt for pulling this off. I've had a business in Orange here for 56 years, and the I-10 corridor was never a priority for Orange. Y'all have made it a priority. Now, instead of having a shrinkage of our money going to Beaumont and Lake Charles, we're fixing to start keeping the money here in town. It will come off that freeway. They will stop, they will spend money, it will go into our coffers so we can develop more. So my hat's off to you too.
Great job. Ms. McKenna?
Amen to Mr. Childs. It's a great day to live in Orange. It's exciting things happening every time we turn around. And as Mr. Mayor always said, many blessings from the one who counts, the good Lord.
Yep.
Yes.
Amen. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming as well, and I do want to give 2 things to my brother over here, Brad Childs. So once again, congratulations. I'm enjoying keeping up with the updates on the business. Yeah, I think that Brad's going to have all of y'all do a race on the grand opening around the parking lot. Very, very happy to see that, you know, the hard work you've put in. And I see a lot of people following the story. So please keep the updates coming. And I also want to say thank you for being the mayor and taking over at the last meeting. I don't get a chance to do much, but took my family, my wife's family lives in New York, and we were in the hill country, and I got a week off. And so thank you for filling in and making sure everything was good. I appreciate you greatly, sir.
I hope you got rest.
No, but it was cool. We was there. I got a 2-year-old. That's a lot. All right, and then once again, as Brad just said, and as Ms. McKenna and others have stated, you know, thank you to Jay and to Hillary and everybody involved with all the things that we're doing. I know tonight's your little special night. 14 projects, $226 million from $2 million in incentives from the EDC. And so I'm very, very excited, very thankful. And when we say that this is just the beginning, this is just testament that awesome things are coming. Because I'm not going to lie, when you did all 14, I kind of forgot about 1 or 2. So it was good to be updated. So thank you. With that being said, we will adjourn to close executive session. Deliberation with legal counsel, 551.071, consultation with city attorney regarding pending litigation regarding notice of representation of Andrew Ashworth against the city of Orange. We also have an addendum, and it will be, deliberation, consultation with city attorney regarding pending litigation of Dorsey Robinson Jr. and Tiffany Nicole Harris against the city of Orange, as well as deliberation pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel matters regarding the annual evaluation of the city manager. At this time, you're welcome to hang out outside and we will reconvene when we're done. Thank you. in open session, and so it says on item 11A, take action as necessary regarding items 10A1 and 2, and we also had an addendum. There is none to be taken. However, item 10A2, Ms. Leverett will make communication with Mike Kunst, city manager, on a part of a decision that has been made, and that will be discussed at a later time in the public. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion second and a third. All in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.